Good morning everyone, Frank here. We're back at the Yankee Boy mine. So this winter we're not going to explore any other mines, we're just going to continue on to the Yankee Boy. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. We got lots of cool stuff to show you. Now this week maybe going to be a little confusing. I'll try to kind of sum it up for you a little bit. So what we have is, in this mine there's a bottom haul level that goes in a long ways, about 1,300 feet altogether. And then there's two chutes going up, and there's 4 levels above that. So what they did is they had a whole bunch of stopes. We're going to explain about stopes. So they mined up there and all the ore came down to the main haul level. But after they'd done mining, a lot of those levels were backfilled, so you couldn't get into them. So what we've been doing is we've taken out over 800 loads out of the 2 shafts from the main haul level, and it's emptied out a whole bunch of chambers and a whole bunch of stuff from the top haul levels from when they first started mining around 1900. So we're seeing all these new areas. So all of a sudden we've got all these big holes, places that used to be just full of waste rock, and we were able to go through it. So this week we're going to rope down and we're just going to go to a whole bunch of these stopes and go, oh wow, look at this, and then we'll go back and do it in a more logical fashion. As it takes a little while for it to kind of settle down, because we got all this loose stuff and it's very hazardous because you got loose rock and all that kind of stuff. So it's taken a little while to try to get everything come down and settle down, and then we can explore a lot of this stuff in a more logical fashion that'll make sense to you. So we're going to explain to you, we'll go in the mine and explain to you a little bit about how stopes work and what stope mining is all about. And then we're going to take you into the mine. We're going to rope down into some of the nastiest stopes you've ever seen. Most of it's probably mental. You don't like dark places that are wet and you're claustrophobic. You have a bunch of phobias and stuff. It's not going to be the place for you. There's 3 kinds of stopes. There's an overhand stope, an underhand stope, and a shrinkage stope. And they used all 3 of those in this mine here. Let me explain that to you. So an overhand stope is, say you have an adit you're going along like that, and all of a sudden you hit a vein of whatever, quartz, that's coming down here. So it's coming down through the vein. So you got 2 choices. You can mine up or you can mine down. So if you mine up, you can drill a bunch of that rock out there. That's called an overhand stope, because you're mining that stuff going up. You're drilling the rock, the rock's coming down. You're removing the ore and then having to haul the waste rock out of there. If you continue to go up that stope, what you can do is just take some of the ore out, or take all the ore out. Just take some of the waste rock and just keep moving higher and higher up along the stope, and it kind of fills as it goes up. So that's called shrinkage stoping as you go up. An underhand stope is if you're going down. So you come along, you hit that vein, and you start mining going down. A little bit more difficult, because then you have to find some way to get rid of some of the waste rock so you can continue on. The other thing we see in this mine quite a bit is something called long hole mining. So as you're going up, you see this vein. Instead of taking out, like making a pretty wide stope so you can go up there and continue on up there, you would just take drills and just drill just a real narrow part, just more or less just the ore going up and coming down. So as you look up, you can see way up there, you can see it's really thin and just maybe a little wider than the ore body. But the problem is you can only go so far, and then you got to stop. So what you could do then, if it continued or got wider, you could just put another level up there and start an underhand stope to come down, or intersect the top there. And sometimes they did that. So sometimes you look at a stope and you'll see holes in the side. There's different adits that came in and they kind of kept working the stope up and down. So that's the reason why there's so much waste rock in this mine, because they mine these narrow stopes, and lots of times they would just drill the rock and the waste rock out, take the ore out, and they just keep working their way up and basically filling up the stope as they went. So what we're doing is we start at the very bottom, we're at the number 2 shaft here, and there's a whole bunch of stopes above us, So we're removing all this stuff out of here, so when we're done, all these stopes are just going to be clear stopes, but they were backfilled. That's why there's so much material. We've hauled over 800 loads of waste rock out of there, and we've learned a lot about mining doing this, you know, because I'm not a miner, but when you're doing this, you start learning, you know, what works and what doesn't. As we were coming down, and we're going to go in there and see, have a look where this goes. We got no idea where that would go. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, another exciting day of recon and adventures in the Yankee Boy mine. There's the stope fairways up. See the country rock on the one side? So again, we don't know if this is going to go very far. Possibly not, but let's have a look. There's a lot of these chutes in this mine, you know. Lots of places they were able to push ore down. So, I don't know, it's going to go anywhere, but it might be kind of plugged by, but we'll go up as far as we can. Looks like it might be a level there. We'd have to dig this out, though. I'm wondering if there's a pass going up, so if we dig this out, maybe this stuff will all come sliding down here, so we're going to do a better job digging this out before we go any further. Because all of a sudden, if this all comes down, it could be kind of buried. So yeah, that's another interesting project we got then for sure. There's no reason why we can't clean this out. All we gotta do is get a Pelican, pull all this stuff down here. That big lip there, we can that can go over the edge. And then we can just make it so we can get up here, so it'd be safer. When I get rid of that big lip, I'll get it out of the way. So that'll be a project for another day, but yeah, that's another cool thing we can. Doesn't look like it'd be that hard, but we got lots of work for today. Yeah, lots of interesting things to try and fool around with in the Yankee Boy solo. Alright, so we've arrived at our little stope here. So our project is we want to try to fill this up. I don't know if that's too ambitious of a project. The idea is, so we got kind of a big cliff here and it makes it a little hazardous getting by here. So we thought if we could get, all this rock comes down to the 550, which makes this more work for us to shovel. So if we thought we can get it to come this way instead, then we could slowly fill that up. And we wouldn't have to shovel all this stuff. So we're going to take the Pelican, whatever we can shovel, get this going down this way. I don't think it should be that hard. Maybe we got a board or something to divert all the material to come this way instead of going that way. That's what we thought we'd do. Shouldn't be that hard with the Pelican. Because anything that goes down this way, eventually, we're going to have to shovel. Which we're trying to avoid. So our plan is to push all this stuff into this hole here. And you can see it's overhanging, so it wouldn't take much. But be careful if we're not on it when that happens. But we're definitely going to be on ropes when we're up there. Try to push as much of that off as we can. So I don't know what happened, but this hole, this chute here, I'm going to poke that a few times, or just come rushing out of there and filled this whole thing right up. Like there's a big hole here. It's right full. So obviously there's places that don't have waste rock in anymore, so there's more holes. Oh, I can't believe how big that is. It must have been probably 25 feet from here to the bottom. This was a big hole under there. It's completely full now. So that's kind of opened up something up top somewhere. That was plugged in, isn't anymore. Wow. I can't believe how much waste rock that is. So, it's been kind of a strange day. It'd be pretty scary for most people. So we're now behind a collapse. For some reason, the material just kept coming down this chute that we got down here with. There's our rope. It just kept coming down like lots of stuff. Real nice gravel too. And now it's plugged because we don't feel no air going up there. You can hear air. Maybe there's a little bit, but not very much. Most of the material went down that way, which is bad because that's what we're shoveling. So a lot more material to shovel now. So we put this block in here, so hopefully if any more material comes, some of it at least will come this way, because we don't care about this. We could fill this up fine, and cause us to be good if they had a little bit more material in here. So this is what we did here. We poked all this. We poked this bottom of the chute here, and all this material come down here, and it filled this right up. This is probably about 30 feet. Huge amount of waste rock, so I know where it's all coming from. There's got to be a hole somewhere on the top. So really, I've had a lot more excitement in here than we ever thought. So as we were poking here, the odd rock had fallen from up there, so I was wondering what the heck was going on, so I'll show you. Wondering why that was. So this may be a little bit hazardous, but we'll show you. So there's an ore pass coming down, and the stuff to the left, if you look to the left a little bit, is where it's going down. It's coming down below us. That was coming down. So if we're not careful, if that got something happen to that plug, maybe all this stuff will come out where we're standing right now. I don't know. So we've got lots more room. I can fill this up, but we'll get to that another time. And then there's a raise here. You can see they worked that vein out of there. They just took just the vein. That's kind of cool, eh? So it's exactly uniform, about 6 inches wide. We're going to shoot the ladder up there and we'll have a look. And there's the vein there, all along there. A little bit of copper in there too. It's copper, silver, and gold. Let's put the ladder up on this other part. Let's have a look up here and see what we can find. I bet the miners wish they had nice ladders like this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, nothing, no surprise. It's just a little area that they mined out, just on the ground where the gold was. And there's that ore pass going up there. Yeah. Well, we know all these, which level this is now, so right now we're on the number 3 level. Probably the most extensive one is the number 4 level, and we haven't figured out how to get into that exactly. When we're at the top of the 400 chute, that would be the number 4 level. So yeah, that's pretty easy to walk up and down here now. You don't need ropes to get down there. We're going to take our camera up to another area they mined here that we need a ladder to get up and have a look at that and show that to you. I'm not sure how far it'll go, but it goes up there, so it looks pretty cool. So we'll see. Let's see. We'll just walk you over there, show you where it is. Yeah, it's a shame these dynamite boxes are in such a rough shape. I mean, you touch any of them and they just crumble to dust, so kind of past saving, you know. So we might as well leave them where they are. Alright, so we, Sharon went up there and had a look at that yesterday. It didn't go anywhere, but it's a pretty big stope, and looks like we can get up that way. So we're going to get the ladder and climb up there and see what there is to see there. Stope goes way up. We have this rope on here holding our ladder. It's a little treacherous because if you fall down there, you know, it's going to hurt. Gotta be a little more careful, but if you're by yourself, there's no one here to save your ass, right? Luckily, Sharon knows where I am. So if we stuck a piece of drill steel in there, we could use that for an anchor, and I could actually stick my foot up on there and get up here. But the trick is going to be getting down, maybe. Lots more mysteries and adventures left than Yankee Boy exploring all these different collapsed passages and finding these different roads. And oh, that's from a carbide lamp, the gasket. Found another bottle today. Not too exciting, this one. Yeah, we were just leaving and we found a piece of drill steel. That's just what we needed to secure that ladder there. So we're having a look at this stope here. Goes up quite a long ways. See, there's some nice quartz in there. Amazing they were able to mine that being that skinny. But that's all it is. It just pinches it right here. I must go up at least 50 feet. I wonder why they wouldn't have mined that at the top and worked their way down. Looks pretty good up there. They're hanging along the football. Alright, I guess now the tricky part. We gotta get back down. Well, we'll get down, but in one piece. Pretty cool. Imagine them with miners. Maybe they just had big long drills and they just worked from here. I don't know. I'm pretty skinny. Yeah, as it turned out, it was a bit of a stretch. I was on my bum there and I had to reach over to the ladder. But I was able to make it, so yeah. I think Sharon would have had trouble with that. It's a little short, I could just barely make it. Alright, well, that was another successful little excursion. We need either a lot more fill down here, build this up a little, or something, or knock more down. We can't quite get up there yet. Can take you up there for a little peek. Just a little bit too far. I don't know what's up there, but I guess you do now. Yeah, we need to get up there. Alright, try to poke a little bit more down. There's a new hole. Ha! So a big massive landslide underground opened this hole up. Wow, that's cool, eh? Doesn't look to be that tough to get down there. Yeah. Well, that's pretty neat. We threw a little rock down there. It didn't seem to go too far. Might hook up to that big stope underground. When we had that big landslide internally, this rope here was in a what we call a slide to bring ore down there. So the rope is quite tight, so we don't have too much slack. So we're having to go down kind of a little bit more of a direct route. There's barely enough room to operate the descender. So we have to go a little bit more of a direct route. If you run into a pinch, you would have to go back up, which may be difficult to get offline. I don't know. Yeah, you're good. You made her.
Yeah. Yikes. Maybe if I sit down.
Person could go down there, but I'm thinking, yeah.
Went down the slide that we went down?
Yeah.
Holy.
And the slide might be plugged now.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that makes for a big stope now.
Where we went down on the rope the other day towards the slide, like through that stope.
Through this one, yeah?
Yeah. Does it meet that stope now?
Not that I can see.
Oh, I thought.
But probably, yeah. Well, I just can't tell from here. But I'm thinking it does.
Yeah, like all bit one.
All the stuff that came down from up there, all the stuff from this side slid down from the other side. So all that loose rock came down. As far as I know. I don't know if it came from anywhere else. Looks like it just came from there. There was a wall there. It's all gone now. So all that material's gone. So we can rope down from that side now if we want. I don't know if we would see anything. Yeah, so that was a big wall there. Now it's all collapsed. It's good that it did because it would have been unstable. We could have got in that slide. If it came all of a sudden, we could have got, if it would have come down by itself, could have got plugged or something. So that is that one we were looking at yesterday going up. I think that's the one we were looking at yesterday going up. There's another one going down this way. So that's exciting. So we got to figure out how to get into there. Huh. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. So obviously that keeps going down. Whew. Neato. Wow, it's just this whole stope was all mined out and then backfilled. And now we've just emptied the whole thing out. Ha, cool. Well, there's another place we got to get into somehow. Probably on a rope we can come down that slide, kick a bunch of that stuff out of there, and then, yeah, and then just swing into there. Well, lots of new discoveries, eh? All kinds of places we never knew existed or were mined and backfilled. Yeah, we got to get into there. Huh, well, looks like we're going to have a whole winter full of adventures in the Yankee Boy. Figuring out all these different places. Huh. Hoping none of this stope collapses or anything. Huh. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this week. We have a show every week, so we'll see you next week. Check out our new merch page. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Music is by the Adits.